Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем проходить 16-ю Final Fantasy и продолжаем выполнять дополнительные задания. На очереди осталось одно. Оно тут у нас в привале Марты. И даст нам его сама Марта, судя по всему.
Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
И для чего?
Oh? And why is that?
Remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the
Так.
Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just isn't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
Чего ты хочешь?
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think about too.
Мне нужно где-то взять
There's been more and
строителей?
more of 'em turning up lately, coming from all over looking
А,
for
нет,
safe
территория
haven.
нужна ей.
But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've
Зачистить
got.
одну территорию?
We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space.
Ну,
What we
понятно.
need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
Без проблем.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den, and they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raids. Would have sent someone to clear 'em out sooner if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you say? Fancy leading a raiding party?
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories. I'll gladly drive them out of there.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back. And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too. Why don't you go and talk to him?
Of course.
Что, не могу пойти в соло разнести это место? Не пойму. Это же сраные разбойники всего лишь.
Reckon Eastpool would make a nice little home for a few bearers and guardians with a mind to make a go of it.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first.
Джилл заговорила.
So, Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count. And rather less, thankfully, the road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small force would suffice to clear the village, but if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And may victory await our coming.
Так, надеюсь, это будет масштабная битва.
Who the hell are you? Kill them!
И вы.
The consequences.
Сто мегафлопс. Что это значит?
That's the end of that then.
Чё? Ну вряд ли.
Or maybe not.
О, из заказа.
What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes to. Let's try.
Да, блин.
You're finished.
Блин, ну я рассчитывал на какой-то масштаб поболее. Черт.
Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo! A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for Akashic.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them, and not a single Akashic in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
First things first, we'll need to get a few of these roofs seen to. Wouldn't want to be caught in a storm without any shelter.
I'd better get this well back in working order. If we're gonna live here, we'll need something to drink.
Осталось только это небо ебучее убрать. Потому что мне прям вообще некомфортно играть на самом деле. С такой мрачностью. Я бы с удовольствием пропустил, наверное, все эти дополнительные задания. Вернулся бы к ним потом, после того, как убрал бы это небо, но, блин. Хочется по порядочку.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of my own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
Eastpool.
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
Жалко, нам не дали в этой игре возможность кадрить разных девчонок. Сам персонаж сам по себе такой. Стесняшка.
Are the bearers taking well to their new home, do you know? I sometimes worry how they'll manage without me to cook and clean for them.
Так, ну все, теперь можно с спокойной душой отправляться на сюжетное задание. Правильно? Мне же больше ничего тут нету. Вроде нет. Все, ладно.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. I was starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
Мидадол.
My lady.
О, господи.
Hey?
Забавно было сейчас. Прям вообще.
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
Ну тут дяде счастье привалило-то, а.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Два племянника живы.
So these Akashic are being controlled.
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people? Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the horde arrived. Some in the merchants' district to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the merchants' district, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood. And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship? The Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Клайв один будет.
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
И вы. Вечерело. Блин, какое странное название. Ладно.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things.
Ух, ебать там. Ну шо, твари? Будете меня атаковать, нет? Что за хуйня? Блять. 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 Ура. Да, только зря ты делал. Они так быстро отлетают. У них левела маленькие, кстати. Или мне показалось? Блин, там нормальный противник такой. 33. Вроде неплохой уровень. Да я же, блядь, нажимаю, ну пиздец, бесит. Пидорас. Блин, там одно было, да?
What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here.
Мертва вся армия, походу. Странно, что карта не открывается в такие моменты. Хорош, блядь, да. Отлично. Игра работает как надо просто. Как он туда попал, хуй знает. Блять, этих ебучих эффектов, циферок, нихуя, блядь, не видно. Какие там удары происходят? Не, я не успел. Да что это, блядь? Такое ощущение, что на сложности повыше придется, не знаю, постоянно менять способности на массовые атаки, на немассовые. Что, сейчас босс будет?
That sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy.
Ебучая псина. Ого. Да я же, блядь, нажал, да заебало. И что это такое? Мне почти всю жизнь снял. Ты ебанутый, блядь, что ли? Конченая тварь, блядь.
Where the city's leaders gather, there may still be survivors inside.
Сейчас будет босс. Нет, какая-то хуйня сейчас. И? Так я, блядь, нажал, да ёб твою мать. Бля, они очень редко бьют, меня это прям бесит. О, смотрите на эту хуйню.
You've caused quite the commotion.
О,
But
наконец-то.
then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt, and now you're here, with an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am the head of House Harbard, and you will yield.
Короче, ладно, очередной лох какой-то, блядь. Способность нельзя менять. Классно. А, я не то нажимал. Ладно. Я бы хотел поменять на Титана, наверное. А, нельзя, да? Как я и говорил. Бля, сука. Ну что это за хуйня? Сука. Блять, он меня заебал. Я торгл превратился. Да ёб твою мать. Ура.
seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame. What now? A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir.
Копье.
Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes!
Блять. Бля. Я думал, он ко мне поедет, типа. Полетит. Первое зелье использовал. Сука.
Actually, I wouldn't. Let's try.
Пиздец. Что, блять, творится нахуй? Слышь, ебанутый. Ебать. Бля, опять это говно. Сначала хотел сказать, что самый сложный босс из всех, что был, но после того, как я пережил его первые эти комбинации, потом стало понятно, что делать. Блин, толком... Я думал, это будет какой-то персонаж более глубокий. А это просто, ну, лох.
Клайв!
You're all right.
As are you, I see. We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Ну, он знает, кто это? Это Варнава?
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
А ты что, пришел говна навернуть?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Walud.
Get back.
Мне даже способности не дают поменять. Пиздец. Что, первый противник, который дерется лучше, чем Клайв?
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Oh boy.
Try it.
Да. Клайв, ты чё? Что, он устал уже? Что происходит? Пиздец.
Joshua!
Вау. Ой, сейчас Джилл убьют, походу. Ну ёб твою мать.
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Пиздец. Что-то я вообще не пойму, с чего вдруг так резко все обернулось. В плане... Ну, вообще какой-то недосягаемый тип.
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we were up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he?
Где Джилл?
Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body.
Ебать.
But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me, your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gill into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You not mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself.
Почему
It was Sid,
никто не вернулся за Джилл?
your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But do you have an idea?
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself.
Ой, жесть какая вообще.
Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Уже время. Сейчас буду заканчивать. Хочу просто узнать, что нового есть у кузнеца.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want?
Рунный клинок.
Anything else?
Блять.
Sancfordian, do you?
Серьезно? Ничего лучшего из таких нету? Ничего лучше. Только рунный клинок. Ну, обычного качества, типа. Ну ладно.
Not bad, if I do say so myself. No scratches, right?
Грязная набедренная повязка. Сток Мальборо. Ну, пока неизвестно, когда это достану. Сделаю пока что это.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
О, можно даже лучше.
That should do you.
Прекрасно.
Anything else?
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up. Or you'll have me to answer to. Still alive, are you? Coin purse weighing you down?
Его можно было просто купить.
And how were you gonna carry all that?
Ух ты. Прикольно.
It'd better all be here.
А сколько он стоил? Что-то не посмотрел.
Oh,
Неважно. Так, ладно, давайте продолжим в следующей серии. Поговорим с Отто. И, ну, как пойдет дальше. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. А главное, комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч.